Welcome to Amsterdam, freshly arrived from Hong Kong. We're going to have a little talk about this because we're talking about health reimagined. 4 years ago, you started this out of a Hong Kong university startup, 120 people now in countries around the world, most recently also in the UK, with your recent acquisition that you'll tell us more about. And you're seriously backed by Ping An, by Alibaba, you have good funding, you're growing your team, and it's all about this DNA testing, and it's all about this unimaginably value in life, health. Tell us, what is the vision behind the company? Why did you do this?
Great. Thank you, Connie. I'm very excited to be here in Amsterdam today. Ultimately, the reason why we do this is because I feel technology has impacted our lives. Yeah? But when you look at healthcare, it actually hasn't really impacted so much, right? My background is actually in e-commerce. So 4 years ago, I set out to actually use technology to impact people's health. And certainly with DNA testing and genetic testing, we have the opportunity to give everyone the power to be in control of their own health.
Okay, so this DNA testing is very core to your proposition. Why?
Because it's a very core to proposition because our business today is actually 100% focused on insurance. We've been fortunate to partner with the leading insurers around the world: Prudential, AIA, HSBC, Montai Life, Aviva, AXA, etc. Right? All throughout Asia and certainly now in Europe. 3 key value propositions. Number 1 is that we allow insurers to help them connect with their policyholders via innovative solutions. Yeah? Because a lot of times when someone buys an insurance policy, there's a lag between the next time they actually submit a claim. Number 2, it reduces long-term claims costs. Because if I can tell the policyholder you're higher risk of, let's say, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you will take proactive measures to monitor or change your diet and lifestyle for the better. And lastly, it's going to be about population health management. We help insurers with the genetic information and innovative app solutions to segment them according to what they need in terms of personalization.
Yeah, now before we go into how you do this with insurers, one thing pops up in my mind, because you can't get more intimate than into your DNA. And you know, we have this wonderful thing called the GDPR in Europe, and data privacy, thanks to Cambridge Analytics and all sorts of reasons, is a big issue. How do you do it with the data thing? Will the data go to the insurer? Can I cancel it? Is it mine? Is it yours? Is it the insurer's? Tell us. It's a very sensitive area.
Great question. 3 years ago, when we first launched with Prudential, this was the biggest challenge, right? Everyone was really concerned about the genetic data piece. We do not share any of the genetic data with the third-party insurer, even though they paid for it. The information just stays between the user and us. So that's the same approach we've taken with all of our other insurance companies. If the user wants to delete their information from our system, they just email us and we do that. But just to share reference-wise, I mean, last year we processed over 100,000 DNA testing units, and that's all with insurance companies. So certainly we're here in Europe because looking to replicate the same success that we've had in Asia.
Yeah, and I assume the insurer has to make that very clear in their marketing outreach program. Correct. Okay, so let's go to one of your live cases, because I want you to talk me through how it works. Let's take one of your customers, because it's a white label platform. Any insurer can implement it differently. Take us through one of your cases.
Sure.
What does the insurer have to do? What do you guys do? And what does the policyholder have to do?
So this is actually our genetic test kit. So it's very simple, non-invasive, takes 30 to 60 seconds to implement. So as you can see here, this is the white label solution we've developed for Prudential. And we've actually launched now in 5 countries across Southeast Asia, starting with Hong Kong. This is a solution we launched with HSBC Insurance. It's a white label product. We call this One DNA. We call this My DNA. The actual value is actually really simple to take, because basically you open up the package. There's a cotton swab. There's no blood or needles or anything. 30 seconds, send it back to our accredited laboratory. Individuals get their results within 10 business days. And right now we're testing for things like dietary aspects, sensitivity to carbohydrates, etc. For example, I lost 10 kilos over 2 years ago because I found was highly, highly sensitive to carbohydrates. Right? But that information stays with you for the rest of your life. You know that your personalized, your genetic makeup understands that you are sensitive to carbohydrates. Other examples, we also provide policyholders with cancer risk screening, disease risk screening. So all of these things impact individuals, because the earlier you know your genetic makeup, the earlier then you can prevent that from happening.
Okay, so the insurer signs up with you. What happens next? They implement the platform on site, or they go into the cloud and connect?
Correct. So how it happens is that the approximate time frame in terms of implementation time, approximately 6 to 12 months. We've been able to do it for 3 to 4 months because the insurer needs to package it into specific product policies, and then of course educate your agents or the bank insurance partners on what this means. Then individuals, then again, they get access to a digital report, digital app with health coaching, consultations to make people understand their genetic results as well in terms of things, specific action items that they can change to basically enhance their lives.
Okay, so take an example, you have some here. After you implemented the platform, the insurer has to research to its policyholders and do a marketing campaign. What percentage of users normally responds positively to participating?
Yeah, so great question. In terms of eligible policyholders, we found 70% of individuals which can opt in, because this is an optional test, right? 70% of individuals that actually can opt in actually request to get the genetic test. From our mainland Chinese customers, it's actually above 90%. Because now prevention is really powerful. The earlier you understand something, the earlier, again, that you can actually prevent. Our dietary fitness and nutrition report has 104 million different possibilities of results. So the result that you will be getting is going to be highly personalized to yourselves.
Okay, and then on to the numbers, because this is an insurance and a financial conference. Yeah. What has been the impact, the financial impact at some of your insurance companies, clients?
So certainly we measure that on multiple aspects. Certainly in terms of actual results aspect, again, almost 68% of individuals which actually have received the test has made positive dietary and lifestyle changes based upon the results. So that's significant because if you look across health and wellness apps out there, etc., it's very low, right, in terms of getting people to change. But these are real results that you can't argue with your genetic makeup. And again, going back to the type 2 diabetes case, 90% of type 2 diabetes can be prevented with the proper diet and lifestyle. The reason people don't change, they don't have any trigger points to get them to action, get them to change. And we've had so many people, users, tell me, hey, I'm really thankful for your report because it has allowed me to take a proactive change in my life.
Okay, one final question. You bought DNAfit.com in the UK. Your origins in the Far East. You're obviously here today. What is next? What are your plans? I mean, probably Europe, broader. Tell us.
Yeah, so certainly we just made our first acquisition here in Europe with DNAfit.com, which is a leading direct-to-consumer genetic testing company here. So certainly we actually are expanding into China, and certainly we've got great exposure with Ping An Insurance as our investor, as Alibaba. We have over $50 million USD in funding thus far in the last 2 years, so we're one of the most well-funded insurance tech companies in the region. And certainly we're looking to the USA markets. So certainly we believe genetic testing, the power of it is the cost of sequencing has dropped dramatically. 10 years ago it was $100 million. Today, for our insurance partnerships, it's about sub 100 to 200 USD. Okay. That cost will go down to sub 100, guaranteed within the next 12 to 24 months. Think about that impact on your policy.
Okay. Holders. Thank you, Danny.